I'm going to replace, or actually not replace, but clean the EGR valve, which is underneath here. It's underneath this thing right below, and I'm going to remove this intake air intake tube to get underneath there. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do. So, and what I have to do is loosen this screw here and another screw underneath there somewhere. This one there. Alright, and then I have to remove this one and undo this hose, and I can get underneath there. Okay, I will come back with this tube removed. Okay, here we are. I already removed this hose, and I reach in there to loosen one of the nuts. This is the EGR valve there. Let me zoom in. That's underneath there. That's the EGR valve. That's the connector, and the EGR valve is underneath here. And I was able to loosen one of the nuts. There were two nuts holding that to the engine, and my bracket got stuck underneath. My wrench got stuck between the bracket and the engine because the space is enough to squeeze it in, but once I loosen it, I was not able to pull it out from between the engine and the bracket of that holds the engine. So what I did is okay, as I was telling you, this wrench got stuck underneath between the engine on this side and the bracket that holds the engine to the car at the bottom. So I couldn't pull it out anymore, even though I could loosen the bolt. So what I did is I just jack up the engine by an inch or so, and I was able to pull it out. And let me show you. There it is. I just jack up the engine by about an inch because the car also moved along with the bracket. So it gives a little more space, maybe half an inch. So I was able to pull out that wrench. Now I'm going to loosen the other nut and take out the EGR valve. Here it is. This is the EGR valve, and I'm going to clean the inside of this thing. It's quite dirty actually. I don't know if you can see the inside. It's quite dirty. So I'm going to scrape it with this little thing here. This is part of a windshield wiper, and I'm going to clean it, scrape the inside, and then I'm going to use this guy, carb cleaner, and I will blow in here and wipe it off. Okay, here it is. I took it apart. There were 4 screws here in each corner. I removed those 4 screws. See the screw there? I removed them and I took it apart. It turned out there's nothing here I could do in here. The valve seems to be okay, but there's a lot of dirt underneath there and it's not working correctly, obviously. Otherwise it would not have shown me a code of 401. I don't know if I can show you the inside. Anyway, there's a thing that pops out when you push over here. I don't think you can see it. So I'm going to clean this and put it back. Put it back together first and then put it in the car. One more thing I want to show you. You could rotate this and you can get to if you rotate this, you can get to the back of this little valve inside here and you can clean the back side of it. Just wanted to show you that. Okay, here we go. I cleaned that a little bit, and I put the carb cleaner. I put these guys into that cavity, and I let it soak for about half an hour, and I cleaned it some more, and then I put in some more again, and I'm going to wait for another half an hour and come back and clean it, and then we're going to see how it looks inside. Not sure I can show you how this thing is, how clean this thing is. See that? That's the shiny little thing that comes down. That's the valve. That's the valve that moves up and down with that electrical part that sits on where my finger is pushing. See how clean it is now? I'm going to put this back together and install it in the car. Here I am in my car now, and you can see the check engine light is on, but I have a code 421. Yesterday I took the car for a drive, and I was very hopeful that it solved this 421 as well as the 401, but looks like it 401 is not coming back anymore. This is the only code that's in the car. But 421, which is an issue with a catalytic converter, I was hopeful yesterday that it might have solved that problem as well. But looks like it didn't, but it only solved the 401 issue, which is the EGR malfunction. Okay, so that's it for now.